Cricket was Sarah's childhood dog, and Monsters Among Us chronicles the tale of Cricket, who, according to Sarah, was a pretty unhappy dog. Sarah, who is originally from Lancaster, Ohio, is the one who narrates the narrative in the book. Sarah provides me with information. She was extremely irritable, and she had a special affection for my grandmother. She didn't seem like she felt well. And the family was getting ready to go on vacation with their family when the dog jumped out into the road and was killed by a passing automobile. The family was getting ready to go for their vacation. The tragic news that the dog had passed away left the family in utter disbelief. Despite this, the family was really upset by the catastrophe since they had a great deal of affection for their dog. It was extremely upsetting and heartbreaking, especially when I consider that I was a child at the time, she said to me. The sport of cricket had a considerable amount of admiration for my grandmother, who was a cricket fanatic to the extreme. In addition to that, cricket was a major fan of hers from the beginning. This one-of-a-kind friendship, which wasn't something that any of us had at the time, was something that they had in common with one other. And despite the fact that they did not have a lot of money, the family opted to still go on vacation, despite the fact that they had already paid for their holiday. However, this was in spite of the fact that the event had already taken place. Cricket was left in the care of her aunt instead of making the required preparations, since her aunt volunteered to take care of all that needed to be done. Melancholy and sad was the condition that the family was in when they arrived at the hotel where they were staying as a result of the tragedy, according to Sarah, who also adds that the family was in this situation. We go to bed, and in the middle of the night, I'm not sure why I woke up, but I startled, woke up, sat up in bed, and looked down, and on the floor was Cricket, a full-body apparition of her, Sarah recalls when she makes her following statement. It seemed as if she was a different dog. She gave off the appearance of being in a joyful mood. It was possible for me to recognize her bouncing about. Her annoyance and dissatisfaction, which she had earlier shown, had entirely disappeared from her. Taking into consideration my point of view, it seemed as if she had come to reassure me that she was doing okay. It was a certain apparition that stuck out the most throughout the whole experience. After that moment, I have not seen any further apparitions since that time. Certainly this was the very first time, and there is no doubt that it will not be the last. When Sarah told her mother about what she had seen in the morning, her mother rejected it as the consequence of her middle school brain attempting to make sense of the loss. Sarah's mother said that she was trying to make sense of the loss. Sarah, on the other hand, claims that she informed her mother about the facts that she had seen. Even if Sarah says, "I guess that's possible," I am still able to see Cricket at that same instant, even to this day. This is despite the fact that I see Cricket at that very moment. I will never forget that photograph, and thinking about it helped me feel better about what had occurred. She seemed to be in such a good mood, and I believe that she was paying me a visit that evening. I felt better about what had transpired because of this. It is impossible for me to forget all that took place during that time period.